Well, new reporting out of the White House to talk about with CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe in Washington. Ed, what are you hearing about the possibility of having boots on the ground, U.S. personnel boots on the ground in Iran?
So, yeah, the president hasn't made up his mind on this, according to sources who've been in touch with CBS News. He needs to decide essentially whether to send in American forces and to seize Iran's nuclear material, which would obviously be a very dangerous operation. But the deliberations on that continue based on reporting by Jennifer Jacobs and Ellie Watson of CBS just in the last hour or so. In private, he has told people they report, quote, "I have a lot of decisions to make," and that the Pentagon has prepared multiple options for him should he ultimately decide to do this. There have been a few times in recent days that he's telegraphed that he's still thinking about whether or not that is a step that needs to be taken. Not only is it operationally risky and quite dangerous, it would be an escalation, obviously, to put American forces in there in such a way, and would once again flout his campaign pledges to never do something like this. But if it is to secure the nuclear materials and ensure that they can no longer develop nuclear weapons, that may be the one justification that has the broadest support among the American public that the White House would wager is worth the military risk in operation and the political risk and fallout.
Well, and the president has moved personnel, even thousands more U.S. personnel in recent days. Can we see that as being ready in case he does, in fact, make that decision?
It's unclear what they would be doing, but yes, I mean, that is a signal that something is being prepared for them potentially. It's a Marine unit. So what exactly, where exactly they would do it is unclear, but it is a sign that they are being brought into that region just in case.
Well, and there's also a lot of pressure that I'm reading from the President of the United States on NATO nations. He would like them to get more involved, specifically in the Strait of Hormuz. Are they moving in that direction?
No, not yet at least. We've seen the Germans, we've seen members of the European Union and others signal that this is a war that they did not start and they did not ask for, and so they don't necessarily see a need to get involved. The British have been a little more open to it, saying they're continuing to deliberate about it. But he has talked openly about this on Truth Social, suggesting that the United States can go it alone, and that maybe there would have to be actions taken against NATO. He also talked about this a little bit. Take a listen.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake, and I've long said that I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
He had said on Truth Social that if it were the United States that were to finish this off, would they necessarily be allowed? Would they have full access to the strait? In essence, is what he was suggesting. As you see that would get some of our non-responsive allies in gear and fast, wouldn't it? The president suggested. So, look, the public goading continues. There have been some private diplomatic conversations between the United States and other countries about potentially getting involved. But even if another country is to get involved, we could be several weeks away from seeing those operations take place, just by the sheer fact that it would take a while to get the naval equipment or the personnel in place to join the United States in those efforts.
You know, Ed, as we talk about all of this strategy and all of the implications, we're also mindful as a news organization that there are families of U.S. military personnel who are planning funerals. We understand that the president has some plans to mark the return of some of those service members today.
That's right. He is en route right now to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware for a dignified transfer of those that were killed in that refueling accident. This is the second one he has attended in recent days for service members killed in action in response to or in carrying out operations related to the ongoing attacks on Iran. Notable, we only learned about this last night that he is going, but a signal that he understands the human cost and that the White House wants to make sure the American public knows that he understands the human cost of the war.
Ed O'Keefe live in Washington. Thank you so much.